So yeah, I'm back. Apparently I have a new camera. Unfortunately, I probably won't be using it this time because I'm trying to save up the memory on the camera for a video I plan on making called the Thanksgiving Turkey very soon. I want to start filming tomorrow. So yeah, unfortunately I'm going to have to keep doing this webcam video. Which, yeah, it has this beeping sound when I replay it, but I don't know what to do about that. So today, I'm going to be talking about a subject that you've probably already heard before, in a different way. It's about the balance between good and evil. You are probably familiar with the symbol. It is the image of the balance between good and evil, as many people think of it. You know, good on one side, bad on the other. You can't have one without the other. But I think about it from a different perspective. I mean, just think about that good and evil thing. Like, they say balance. You know, we need balance, but wouldn't that mean balance is good? But then, wouldn't that mean that if we need balance, then we'd also need the opposite of balance? The evil side of balance, which would be unbalanced, and that just seems to be quite confusing. Although, in the book of Romans, chapter 5, Paul said in the second part of verse 20, "But where sin increased, grace increased all the more." Now, that might give the image of balance, because when we sin, God will forgive us, and that will bring him glory. But Paul goes on to say in chapter 6, verses 1 and 2, "What shall we say then? Shall we go on sinning so that grace may increase? By no means. We died to sin. How can we live in it any longer?" So, I still believe that our lives need to be balanced, but that does not make it okay to sin. So, what exactly does it mean for balance? Matthew 7:13 and 14 says, "Enter through the narrow gate, for wide is the gate and broad is the road that leads to destruction, and many enter through it. But small is the gate and narrow the road that leads to life, and only a few find it." Now, I don't know exactly what you picture when you hear the story of a narrow road, but this is sort of what I picture. Sure, I probably don't plan on seeing this movie, but look at that guy. Look at how he has to balance. If that guy doesn't balance, he's gonna fall and go splat. Now, maybe the narrow path isn't exactly that narrow, but if you look at almost any sin and any good thing, usually the good thing is right between, like, if you go too far with anything, then you're gonna end up doing wrong. Like, here are some examples.
Let's dig in so we can become even more fat.
These three are not being very healthy, and that is probably not good for themselves. But on the other side of it, you could also be starving yourself, which is also not very healthy. And neither way is good for you, because God wants you to be healthy to the best you can be. So here we have another example of balance. You got to stay in the middle, or you'll end up falling. Another example is tolerance and intolerance. These people are holding up signs that say how bad some people are, and I don't think that's right. On the other hand, we're told to preach the gospel to the world, and in a verse in Jeremiah, it does mention how we're supposed to warn people about their sin, or will be held accountable for it. But, in a way, I don't think that telling people about their sin, when you tell them their sin, you gotta be understanding, understand why they might do their way. Try to understand. So now we have another situation that requires balance. And if you think about this, this goes with almost every situation you can think about balance. Go one way too far, you'll fall. If you go the other way too far, you'll fall. And so you do need to have balance, just not between good and evil, but on good, avoiding the evil on either side. So that's what I had to say. Now, since it's November 1st, I can start listening to some Christmas music. But I have to watch out. If I listen to too much, like every Christmas song I can think of, I will fall and won't enjoy Christmas so much. This is just the way it is.